I think it's really important to involve people with all kinds of disabilities in leading that conversation, because it's really their conversation to be had, and if they're not involved in it, there's no point. Yeah, nothing about us without us.
Give us the tools, give us the training, and we will succeed.
A confident voice, a shared journey. Inclusive Media in Motion.
The Zero Project Conference happens in the United Nations building in Vienna in Austria.
One, two, three.
The Zero Project Conference is all about sharing innovative solutions for disability inclusion. And a big part of it is networking. We have more than 1,000 participants every year, and they come from all around the world, from all parts of society.
At the Zero Project Conference in 2025, a team of members from L'Arche Canada, L'Arche UK and L'Arche International partnered on an exciting media project.
I was one of two interviewers for the social media part of Zero Project.
We were preparing for the Zero Project for about 6 weeks. It started off by just helping Sian get to know what the Zero Conference and the Zero Project is, what these kind of conferences and academic summits look like.
We did a lot of work on what makes a good interview, and we also did some practice interviews with some of the people who we actually interviewed for real at the project.
That's good. Yeah. I think before we went to the conference, I think Sian was quite excited, but a little bit nervous about what we'd be doing and how it would go.
That's a very important point to make. Eve.
And then Sian was also being interviewed by the UN social media team, which is very exciting. And so part of the preparation for that was helping her prepare her answers and tell her story in a way that felt right for her.
I was a bit excited but a bit nervous to go because I didn't know what to expect really.
I think a lot of this was quite new to Sian, and just sort of interacting with the camera and interacting with people that she's interviewing.
When I met Sian for the first time at the Austrian Parliament, she seemed very shy and reserved, but then just 48 hours later at the UN, she was so much more confident.
At the conference, her confidence had increased tenfold. She was making small talk with people, meeting lots of new people. She knew the questions off by heart.
In the community and in the world around me. It was beyond my expectations really. There was a lot of people, but it was fun because everyone was there for everyone else, and they had accessibility at the front of their minds.
Also to people who need easy language to support their understanding.
Part of this project was you being able to be a coach, a mentor, a teacher, and trainer. It's important to each person where they can learn from someone else about their interviewing skills. And I have built that confidence over the years.
One thing that really stood out to me was the generational transfer of knowledge between Nick and Sian. This is something I believe worked really well in the interviews, and also from what I could see during the conference, watching the two of them work together.
He was my mentor and he was helping me along the way, and it was really, really nice.
She has really has grown as an interviewer. I see it.
I loved the energy that flowed between all sorts of different people in the space. You know, people were genuinely happy to be there, to be learning together, to be meeting each other, to be connecting. And it was just really invigorating.
The nature of being at a conference is a lot of things change. I think that was a bit of a challenge sometimes because we didn't know definitely that things were going to happen. But I think Sian did really well at dealing with that.
On the second to last day, the Thursday, I had to conduct an interview completely on my own, and I felt confident but a little bit out of my comfort zone.
I think when she did her first solo interview is when she really came out of her shell and really was like, she knew what she was doing, and yeah, I was very proud of her then.
And I felt proud afterwards because I felt I did this, I was confident, I'm happy with the work that I've done.
The way that you prepared yourselves and the people you were interviewing ahead of time, the way you conducted yourself during each of the interviews and coached Sian along the way to do too. Like, they were long days.
Yes.
And you worked hard.
We all did.
Yeah.
Sian grew immensely over the course of the project, from when we first had our online meeting with the international and the Canadian team up until like that last day when we left. Her confidence just magnified tenfold, and she still also throughout the pressure didn't lose her joy and her energy and her love for being around people and learning people's stories.
I really enjoyed it because it was one of the best experiences of my life, because you got to meet all these amazing people and it really made me happy. Now I have the tools and the confidence to do more things.
There has been a long history of people with all sorts of disabilities being sent away, taken out of society, and being told that their voice and their story doesn't matter. It's so important that we are encouraging people with disabilities to be telling their own stories, to be controlling their own stories.
I would like to do more things like this in the future, because I really liked doing the interviews because it helped me with my confidence and my communication with other people.
I am really excited to see what Sian does next. I think there's so many great opportunities. Yeah, I think the world's her oyster.
Best experience ever.